How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the mini channel. We're gonna be just playing here, not playing, I'm sorry, we're gonna be ranking, I guess, not rating, all the bosses from Persona 5 Royal. I was trying to do a Persona 5 Royal and Persona 5 Strikers like together, but I couldn't actually find one that is already being done that way. So we're just gonna make our own here and kind of do it that way. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it, I guess. If you guys have any questions or anything, please let me know. Also, as a big reminder, because I have to say this every time I do one of these, this is just my opinion, guys, and this is not based on anything objective or anything like that. This is entirely just my opinion on how I feel about things. You can definitely feel free to disagree or agree with this, and you can definitely think about this more like this is just my personal opinion. You know, you can have your own opinion about this. You can like it though you do. This is just, again, just me. Also, as another big reminder here, today Capcom has reached out to me to co-stream the Resident Evil official stream. That's why I have the layout that I do right now. So definitely tune in to that as well if you can. That will be at 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's 3 p.m. Pacific time, I think. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So there's a lot of different bosses here. I think I typically like to start in order, chronological order. So we're gonna do that. I want to start with the best one here, not the best one, with the first one here, I'm sorry. And that's gonna be Kamashira. I think Kamashira is an interesting boss battle. I'm gonna rank him as an A. I don't think that that it's a particularly hard battle or anything like that. But there are some redeeming aspects to his boss battle because thinking of his dungeon and thinking of him as the first villain, I think it does set up for a tone, and particularly more, his boss battle is made to teach people how to use correctly a lot of the different aspects of the gameplay, where there is a lot of the other aspects that you can utilize, or like the baton pass and all different functions. For example, there's this part where you can choose whether you wanna have another character shoot him from the side or something like that, and all these things are like, they're really gimmicky in a sense. They're really gimmicks that the game gives you, but this boss battle kind of gives this into kind of like an aspect of how you want to fight this boss and everything. Now, great question, just Monica. Yeah, this is basically based on actual fight. This is a boss battle kind of ranking. I have already made another one where I'd rank characters just based on kind of how I like them and everything, and this one is just based on the boss battle, but I do of course consider things like how I like the characters and everything, but this is mainly just about like the battle itself and how I feel about it. Moving on, next, I believe the next one right after him, it's gonna be Madarami. Now Madarami is interesting, and I want to kind of put him as a B or an A. Madarami himself is not a hard boss battle, but it was kind of easy on the original game, which is why they kind of fixed it. I guess I wouldn't necessarily say fixed it, but they did some different aspects for Rojo, giving him an edge, I guess if you can say, for the different boss battles and everything. He does come up with like this elemental aspect where there's like different Madaramis with different elements and everything like that, which is again more of a gimmick than anything else, but in and out of itself, I feel like it does work with what they were trying to do and everything. Not a hard boss battle, and it does again kind of try to teach you some of the other mechanics and everything. This one focuses on teaching you weaknesses and protecting your own weaknesses as well, which again, that's the purpose of a boss battle. To me, a good boss battle typically is one that is aimed to be challenging, and at the same time trying to make sure that you are learning the mechanics of the game properly. It's kind of like a test almost, if you want to think. Speaking of tests, the next one in the list here is my dude right here. Now he is also, I feel like it's a good boss battle. It reaches a good moment of the story and everything. I just don't like his character design. I feel like it's kind of just opposed to the other character designs, which they look kind of very different or kind of odd, the way that they look themselves. I don't see why anybody will see themselves as this kind of like I think he is almost like mosquito, not a mosquito, I guess. Yeah, something like that, like some kind of fly, I guess. He sees himself as a fly or something like that, which is kind of weird because you have somebody like Kamashira who sees himself as this ruler of his palace. He's literally a king, and then Madarami, who also has like his own perception, but he's still pretty much dressed up like a shogun, like like in this era of like samurai and everything. He has like a specific attire for that. But then he just looking himself as this kind of like fly character. It doesn't really make any sense. Like if he sees everybody as a piggy bank, or like walking ATMs, why will he himself see as a fly? That doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. It doesn't go with like any theme or anything like that. So from character perspective, it doesn't make sense. Although I do like the thing that he has like this piggy bank that he like a literally like a piggy and he attacks with money and stuff like that. Those mechanics are interesting, and although they don't really add anything to the experience of the game, they do have like a funny sense to them, I guess. If you say like it makes sense, I guess, if you want to say it like that. Not the best boss battle, but I do kind of like it. Okay, so the next one is gonna be Futaba's mom. Now Futaba's mom is also gonna be a solid B. I don't think hers was kind of like particularly exciting either or anything like that. I think she was just there because she needed to be there for story purposes. Her being like this chimera looking creature, like Egyptian looking chimera thing, but with her face was kind of odd. Like the sign is kind of bizarre and everything. And I really hated this boss battle because it was kind of really gimmicky. I kind of almost want to put her into a C. I'm gonna drop it to a C. Her boss battle is really gimmicky. It's almost like the majority of it is try to wait off until you have this harpoon. You have to get you have to wait in the battle. Technically you're doing barely any damage until you get Futaba to do her thing, and she summons this harpoon thing looking thing where you can shoot into her or something like that. It's like a bow and arrow situation kind of thing, and then you like knock her down and you can actually do damage. I hate boss battles like this because they're pointless. They're not teaching you anything. It's just a gimmick battle. It's literally a battle for you to wait until something happens. Like you just have to wait it out until the crossbow. That's the word I'm looking for. Crossbow. I'm sorry. Where the crossbow shows up, so you can shoot her down and then do the damage and everything. That's just a gimmick. There's nothing strategic to her battle or anything like that. Nothing that really makes you kind of like, oh man, this battle is so entertaining or anything. It's far from that. It's really just, again, just a gimmick battle. But moving on to the next one, speaking of gimmick battles and situations that put you in a weird spot, it's just kind of okay. So this one is gonna be an interesting one because she falls in an interesting situation. I'm gonna put him as a B as well. Now, before you raise your pitchforks, I know a lot of people don't like Okumura's Palace or the boss battle itself, and I feel like, as I mentioned before, there are some boss battles that are made to test you and kind of make sure that you're learning the mechanics of the game correctly, that you're able to kind of do things the right way. Okumura's Palace, in a sense, is that. It's trying to make sure, it's another test. It's just trying to make sure that you're learning the mechanics, so you're actually using things like the weaknesses and using the baton pass at a specific time and everything like that. Unfortunately, I don't think it works as well as they intended it to do. It does come off a little gimmicky with the fact that there's like a countdown, and I'm sorry about that. It does come out as a price of kind of like trying to make it at a specific time. There's a time counter that is going down and you have to beat him within an amount of time or something like that. I do like the boss battle itself, and I don't think it's a hard or a bad boss battle per se, but the fact that there is a countdown and you have to do one within a specific time frame never works for me. I don't really think that it's well super done, but I do see the idea of it as kind of being this test between are you actually doing a good job or you're just understanding the mechanics of the game. Just kind of being fucking awful at the game is like two separate thing, right? You can be awful at a game and still kind of pick up some of the mechanics, but I feel like they just didn't do it correctly. I feel like there was some missing bits here. I don't think it is a bad battle per se, but it definitely leaves a lot to be desired as far as what they should have done for this battle. Is it bad? I'll say again, not necessarily, but I don't think it's also the best boss battle or anything like that. So the next one in the list here, let's see what we have here. Chronological order. I'm trying to do chronological order here. I believe the next one is gonna be Sae, if I remember correctly. But I don't know if I remember this correctly or not. So let me take a look at this here. Yeah, Sae is the next one. Okay, so with Sae, she's also a cool battle. I don't think that she's definitely a bad one. In fact, I will say that she's my favorite boss battle. Oh my gosh, I accidentally clicked on that. So she's gonna be my first S. There's a lot of aspects that I like about. One of them being that she actually has one, it's a little gimmicky, but her gimmicks do have like a theme for it. Her whole thing about the way that she perceives the world that she lives in, or the job that she has and everything, as kind of like being like this gambling situation and everything, and all the fact that everything on the boss battle itself has something to do with gambling. And like she's not a hard boss battle, but it have again some aspects that I like about it. I love her character design and Shadow character design too. I also just love the way that she comes out as far as like this. But also the soundtrack is so good for her palace. Like I love the music for it and everything like that. I think she's one of my favorite boss battles, and I feel like it's one of the ones that you can easily replay and kind of like enjoy the experience. Again, still gimmicky, still has some aspects that I don't like about her boss battle. Like the whole luck aspect isn't really luck, it's rigged, and she's cheating, and you can see how like she sees it as a gambling, but she's still cheating at her own game, which is kind of like, I guess that's the whole point of like what she's trying to say and everything, or like what the writers are trying to say about the character, I guess. So moving up next, we want to do to Akechi's boss battle. This one is interesting because you fight him once before you actually fight him again as a boss battle when he's a bad guy, I guess, which is interesting in this one. If you do his confidant, you fight him one more time before you have that second the second boss battle and everything. So I actually never died in this one. I think the only time that I died was in Kumura's palace. Now let me tell you this. There was supposed to be, I guess, this emotional attachment with his character because of the new confidant that you have with him. Unfortunately, I never really liked Akechi, so I had no emotional attachment to him. When it's shown that he's the one that is betraying us and all that jazz and everything, I never really like saw it as kind of like, oh my god, it's breaking my heart kind of situation. More of a, yeah, whatever kind of thing. I think that if they had done a boss battle with him, after he kind of goes a little crazy on the third semester, that would have have a different impact and everything, because they do develop the character afterwards. So it's a weird one. The boss battle itself is fine. I don't think it's bad or anything like that. It's just a regular boss battle. It's just a really average boss battle in a sense. But the emotional, I guess, attachment or connection they're building up to that particular point is pretty well done. Especially at the end where he kind of dies or disappears and you don't know what happened. From there, I guess that kind of gives you kind of like a oh, I wonder what happened from there kind of situation. So moving up next from that, obviously we have the big baddie. He's just gonna be a solid C for me. His character has this thing that I hate in bosses, which is kind of like the whole "it's not my final form" meme thing, where he has one form, you fight him, and then he has like another form, and you fight him again, and you fight him again, and I'm kind of like, I don't really care for this battle. It isn't hard. For a final, I'm using quotations here because obviously there's a ton of other boss battles. For a final boss battle, because that's what they're leading you to believe that he is, he doesn't really feel challenging, and he kind of feels like almost like anticlimactic in a sense. Like, you're expecting this boss battle, you grind it or you got ready for it. I don't know if anybody that died in his boss battle, but I don't think he's like super hard. I think that he was one of the easier ones. I do also feel that he's just kind of not a cool like character design or anything like that. Like, I don't know what's up with the helmet with the spikes and everything. He kind of reminds me of one of the bad guys from Gundam, I think. Let me look it up real quick. I think he looks kind of like a Gundam. I'm looking it up here quick. Oh yeah, totally, 100%. I don't know if you guys know this guy, but he looks like straight up ripped off from this guy. Let me see if I can pull it up right here quick. Look, they ripped off his character design from like this point right here. So like, it's not even an original character design. They just literally grabbed something from Gundam that already has the same design and added the spikes, and that's it. Like, it's really lazy character design for like he's the bad guy in one of the Gundam games, but anime, by the way. So it's super dumb. Like, I really like really dumb that they went with that design. It doesn't even scream creative or anything like that. It's really basic in a sense. So moving up next, we're gonna just stop dunking on him. He's not even important. All right, so the next one is gonna be one of the worst boss battles, I'll say, because he's so gimmicky and he doesn't really feel like a challenge. It feels more like the gimmicks of the game, kind of trying to make sure they're gonna bring back the gimmicks from the previous boss battles, and then not my final form situation again, and then at the end of the time you have like the one cutscene where you have to like press the button and it's all story and everything like that. I really hate boss battles where it's like it's story when it's a boss battle and it's more story kind of thing. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of games do it, but Shin Megami Tensei, for example, does it really well. For example, Shin Megami Tensei 4, it's kind of just hey, how are you doing today? Whenever you're doing a boss battle, they have like this communication. They're kind of talking, but it's just really small. It's not big at all. It doesn't cut out, like, it doesn't interrupt the battle saying it's like, why do you do this? And then you choose your option of question of thing, and you tell them, because I want to rebel against society or whatever, and then you continue with the boss battle. It's not a 5-minute cutscene before you can continue the boss battle, anything like that. I really hate when they interrupt boss battles for a cutscene. It really pisses me off. Like, I don't mind if there's like a big cutscene after the boss battle or before the battle, but interrupting your boss battle to give you a long cutscene and then continuing with the boss battle kind of pisses me off, especially when you die after the cutscene, because you have to see through a cutscene, fight a little bit of boss battle, interrupted by a cutscene again, fight another boss battle, or like the continuation of the boss battle, and then so on and so forth. Is kind of annoying. The only thing is, the design for this boss is really, really bad. I don't even know what it looks like. It looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Like, it looks like one of the, I don't know. I can't even think of something right now. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? I'm just ranting about this guy over here for a couple minutes. It looks really basic, guys. It's like one of my least favorite character designs. So I'm not gonna go into more of a rant on that end, but I just feel like it's pretty basic. I don't think that it has like any imagination to it. It's a pretty bad boss battle. In fact, for the original Persona 5 vanilla game, having him as a final boss, it's kind of boring. It's just a really boring boss battle, especially for a final boss battle. Alrighty, so moving up next, we're gonna do Maruki. If you haven't finished this game at this point, this will be pretty heavy spoiler. Obviously, I already mentioned Maruki the name, so alrighty. So moving up next, we're gonna do with Maruki. He's also gonna be an S, and I know a lot of the faults that I gave to Jalvadot can be said about Maruki. It does get interrupted a few times with cutscenes, and there are some gimmick aspects to the game. However, what Maruki does is Maruki's battle is really heavy. It's actually a pretty good boss battle. It does test a lot of the new mechanics that they added for Persona 5 Rojo, opposed to just using the old mechanics. They kind of want to make sure that you kind of know the battles and everything. So, in that sense, I do feel like they added some new aspects that kind of does kind of make you feel like it's a good worth addition to it. Not only that, but there is a lot of emotional carry on into this boss battle. So if you got attached to his character, having a boss battle with him almost makes you feel like sad about it. Like you don't really want to fight the guy. You know what he's doing for specific reasons. He does have some emotional weight and aspect to him that it kind of almost makes you feel like you don't really want to fight the guy. You just have to because the game is making you to. But you much rather have an agreement where you will have to not fight him. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, the game does force you to a battle, and he knows, story perspective, there's kind of like this perception of kind of like we disagree with each other opinions, so we have to fight it out kind of thing. And it does have some beautiful cutscenes. Although again, Jalvadot has some pretty shit things that I have to say about him. The character design is just not creative at all. I like that they gave Maruki this mask, kind of like you don't know whether he is a. I guess he doesn't. You don't know if he has the thief's attire, as like when you know like the thieves that they all have masks on, or whether he is wearing a ruler's attire. Like is he a palace ruler, or if he just having his cognition outfit, whatever it is. There's like this kind of, you can kind of think about it like that. I don't know, it's an interesting aspect whether what he's like and everything, and it does bring a lot of questions, but the way that they did his boss battle was really fun and entertaining opposed to Jabba battle. There's like it just feels more right for a final boss battle, although again I can see why some people will feel like this battle has some aspects as far as like, sure, it does get interrupted by cutscenes quite a bit. I can see why that can be annoying. But it is not a bad boss battle, I think. Alright, so moving up next, because I need to not dwell on this one for too long. Alright, so these ones are additional boss battles that aren't really part of the story and everything. So we're judging these ones just based purely on the boss battle itself. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the first one here. I guess we're gonna do we'll start with Jose. Now Jose's boss battle is an A for me. It's kind of cute. His boss battle is cute. It's not a bad boss battle. It's actually the easiest out of the four. Over here, it's just simple. He's in his car. He throws these elemental bombs at you. It doesn't really require much, especially when you're so higher level at the time that you fight him. He's okay. He's not a bad boss battle or anything like that. But he isn't super hot or anything. Plus, he does give you some clues as far as like what's gonna happen next in probably Persona 6 or whatever, and you want to know what he's about or what his purpose is for being there, which is interesting. The Reaper in this one is interesting. I'm gonna put him as I guess I want to put him as a B kind of thing. They nerfed him on this game for some reason, but they also nerfed him on Persona 5 Vanilla. But they did some interesting stuff with him. He is just a really reactive character. All three of these, whether it's the attendants and him, they react to what you use as far as like what kind of tactics that you use. There are some tactics that are really punished when that really punish you in some kind of senses, and this one's just kind of it's just kind of there, like he's always gonna be like the secret boss that you use to grind at the end of the game, and again at the end of the game, he's not really much of a challenge. Truly, you want to kind of fight him mid boss, like I'm sorry, not mid boss, mid game, so you can kind of. Not only is this a good aspect to kind of test your abilities as far as like not only just using the core mechanics of the game, but really learn how to use them correctly. He can be challenging, but if you fight him by the end of the game, there's absolutely no challenge to him, I think. All right, so which Persona game has your favorite boss battles, and what is your favorite boss battle in the whole series? Oh, I don't know. Hey, dude, how are you doing today? How's everybody doing today? So to answer that question, I don't really know which one has like my favorite boss battles. I think it's just mixed. I like the way they did Persona 4 because for like half of the game, the boss battles are kind of like the people that they will join your party. So there's like this personal aspect, like the dungeon itself plus the boss battle. Yeah, like you actually get to know these people. That by the time that you get them as social links and everything, you pretty much know a lot about them, and then you get to know more about them. So the mechanic of it is pretty good. Persona 2 has some really good boss battles as well, and they are like really important to the game. Kind of like each one of them does feel like a progression of the game, opposed to just like, oh, we're going to the next dungeon, let's go and fight the next dungeon. Oh, we're gonna go to the next dungeon. Persona 2 very much feels like a story that is kind of revolving and evolving as it goes. Like you find more about what's going on, and everything just kind of feels like it's unraveling at a really interesting pace. None of the other Persona games really have that, but Persona 2 really has like a good pacing when it comes to like the boss battles and the story and what's going on in there. It just doesn't feel that way with Persona 5. It feels really much like we're going to the motions of what's going on. But again, Persona 4, I like them because of the way that they did the bosses. And Persona 3 has also an interesting aspects to them, with the tarot being actual beings that you're fighting and everything. My favorite boss battle, final battle, I guess we'll see, from Persona 2 and from Persona 3, I like fighting Nyx as a boss battle, because at the end of that boss battle you fight all 13 tarot cards, or 14 tarot cards. Hey Dan, how are you doing today? So fighting all tarot cards in like, it's kind of almost like, to me it's like the boss rushes that they do in Devil May Cry. At the end of Devil May Cry, before like almost at the end of the game, you have to fight like all of the bosses that you fight. So in that aspect, like, you're basically doing that with Nyx. You're fighting every single boss in successions with everything. So it's interesting in that aspect. I think is it 13? Yeah, okay. But then the full is 0, so that's 14. The full is number 0, so that's 14 tarot cards. There you go. Anyway, so moving up next here, we're gonna go with the twins. So the twins is interesting because you can do the twins, and then you have also La Besna. Sorry. So two different kind of boss battles, but very similar. The attendants are usually the attendants are usually the true test of kind of how you finished. How you learn that one. I'm gonna actually kind of put him like this. La Besna can be hard, but she's not the hardest one. I think Margaret and Elizabeth may be harder than her, but there's still some good aspects as far as like the mechanics that they have and everything. They are kind of like the true test of like actually knowing all the mechanics, getting it done and everything like that. The thing about the twins is I just don't like the twins. I don't like the character designs or anything like that. I just don't. I'm sorry about that. Margaret, you think Margaret is easier than Lavenza? I don't think so. But then again, I don't know. I don't know if I can take that. I think it's because Persona 5 has like this way to get to level 99 much easier in like stats. So by the time that I reach to her boss battle, I'm pretty buff. But then with Margaret, I don't know, it's just different situations. It's different games, different setups and situations and everything. Persona 5 just has like the DLC personas and like all these new additions that they added and everything. So they're just like, I mean, you can solo Lavenza too. It's no problem. Again, it's just, I guess, your setup on personas. I guess I'm still thinking of like back in the day. I guess, I don't know. It's been a long time since I fought Margaret, like a really long time. Elizabeth was a pain in the ass too, but yeah, fighting the attendants is always fun. It's really, again, we agree Elizabeth is the hardest. Yeah, for sure, we can agree that. Anyway, that is pretty much in this list, guys. I do have another stream planned today at 6 p.m. Eastern time. As you can say, Capcom reached out to me regarding streaming the official stream for Resident Evil. So I will be doing that later on today, so that's why you have the setup like that. So I will be doing that at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Please tune in with that. We're gonna just have a lot of fun like we're doing right now. And I do plan to do a lot more of these rankings and everything. It was super fun doing this one. You definitely should check those out. Elizabeth and Margaret are I'll say like they just have some aspects. Elizabeth is really punishing. If you think that you're gonna breeze through her with like the super strong attacks or something, she will do it. She will destroy you. Anyway, thank you so much for coming in today and just checking out the stream today. It was fun. I purposely didn't have a video today so I could do this one. I received a lot of requests for a lot of these kind of videos, so we'll definitely do more of this. Anyway, thank you so much for that, guys. Thank you so much for coming in today. You guys have a wonderful day. Check out everybody's. I think Planbat says that he's doing a video, so check him out as well. I will be doing a soundtrack, a whole soundtrack ranking at some point, so keep an eye on that. That's probably gonna be on Saturday or Sunday, somewhere along those days. Anyway, see you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.